Female athletes, constantly breaking the barriers, jumping the hurdles, and pushing down the obstacles preventing them from reaching their full potential. With new legislation, we have the option of creating a more equitable space for these perseverant women, but it could also build yet another obstacle of discrimination for them to push past. Name, image, and likeness. NIL deals first came into play in February of 2019, when the Fair Pay to Play Act was introduced by Senator Nancy Skinner, giving college athletes in California the right to earn compensation from their personal brand. With this new source of payment for college athletes, a familiar inequality crept back into the spotlight: the gap between pay of men and women. Gender inequality has always existed.
Until the late 19th century, a lot of the ban on women doing public activities or voting or going to school was seen in religious terms. It was sinful. Then it became a medical argument. Women were too weak, they were hysterical, they were frail. By World War II, with the men drafted and gone, it was okay for women to take masculine jobs, work in factories, be Rosie the Riveter, and also play professional baseball because the guys were drafted.
Female sports began to grow, and in 1972, the rise in women's rights movements and women's sports led to President Nixon passing Title IX of the Civil Rights Act, saying educational institutes may not discriminate in any activity on the basis of sex.
Before Title IX, the treatment of women was almost non-existent and horrific. Most schools had almost no sports teams for women.
Title IX created more opportunities for women, as well as a legal path towards equal treatment. With the introduction of NIL deals, athletes are now able to earn money and gear for promoting companies and brands.
And I also have an Instagram account that's like running specific, and it's called The Running Rats. So I do that with 4 of my teammates, and we just signed a deal with Quick Trip.
NIL deals can also create strong relationships and mentorships between athletes and companies to help athletes in the future.
You're getting money, which is like a benefit, but Quick Trip is more like we're here to support you as a person. If you have any questions about like marketing or internships or jobs with Quick Trip.
NIL deals have been hugely beneficial for many female student athletes, but legally are a gray area because they cannot always be covered by Title IX, since schools aren't always involved with NIL deals.
The first Title IX case to go after name, image, and likeness, NIL, opportunities and income is, I believe, the case we just filed against the University of Oregon. The school is going to likely argue, that's not us, that's third parties, and you can't hold us accountable for that. And we think we can.
Open Doors, one of the top NIL platforms, reported that in 2023, men made up about 61% of college athletes, while women made up the other 39%. In compensation, however, men received 77.1%, while women only made 22.9%. When football was removed from that data set, men made up 40% of college athletes and women made up 60%. But men's sports still received greater compensation, with 57.7% compared to women's sports receiving 42.3%. Additionally, out of the top 100 highest paid athletes with NIL deals, On3 reports that only 7 are female.
Often women athletes who sign NIL deals are dismissed or marginalized or further othered for, as journalists would describe, signing NIL deals for physical appearance, which is not the case. That's just a trap that journalists often fall into when describing women athletes as a way to diminish their athletic achievements.
Women's sports are less publicized due to years of being essentially non-existent, while men's sports have had the chance to thrive. Recently, H&R Block and Adidas have taken more steps to support female athletes. H&R Block's A Fair Shot campaign committed millions of dollars just to support women. Adidas signed 15 women for the 50th anniversary of Title IX. Changes like these demonstrate the positive efforts companies can take to lessen gender inequality in college sports.
So we know that when businesses and media companies invest in women's sports and promote them, fans follow, and there's excitement and money to be made there.
Female athletes are constantly proving their dedication and hard work. They deserve equality and are actively working towards it. Take an interest, and the media will follow, the big companies will follow, and we will be that much closer to giving female athletes the recognition they deserve.